Hello friends, happy Wednesday again. Here we meet again on a day that's not Thursday. My kids have off school tomorrow and Friday because their teachers are going to a teachers conference. And so I am a day early again this week. And next week is going to be a little bit different also. I will be live on Thursday, which is our regular day. But I will be live. I think I'm going to do my card class at 9 a.m. Tomorrow or next week, my kids have a concert Thursday evening, and in the middle of the day, I have to help drive them over to the Performing Arts Center or the other school where they're practicing all afternoon. So that's going to be in the middle of the day, and I am going to do my card class earlier. I'm thinking 9 a.m. So just watch for the reminder about that next week, and maybe one of these days we'll get back on track, but I don't know. November is kind of iffy because there's Thanksgiving in there, and my in-laws are coming later this month. So just keep watching my reminders, I guess. If this is your first time joining me, my name is Rachel Trout. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Tomorrow is my Stampiversary, 13 years. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And every week, usually on Thursdays, I come to you with a card class. So this week's card class, we are going to be using the Ornamental Christmas Bundle, and I have some great cards to share with you. Oh, but before we do that, I promise some of you who follow me and have been watching for a while know that last week was the last week of my daughter's volleyball season. She's in 8th grade this year. So it was her last year of grade school volleyball. My husband was helping to coach her team, and they had a very young team this year. You guys have heard me talk about it. So they had their tournament last week on Saturday. One of my daughter's 8th grade friends, she really loves basketball, and she plays club basketball. She was in California for a basketball tournament, so she couldn't go to the volleyball tournament. So they were down to 7 players. 2 of them were 4th graders. 3 of them had never played on a team before this season. The rest of the team has played, but only for a year or 2 before this. And so their chances of doing well, not likely. They had to play a really tough team in the first round. This team is one that we hate to play. The players, the families are nice, but their sportsmanship is sometimes lacking. Like in basketball one year, they were up by like maybe 30 points, and they continued to play their starters. We scored like 2 baskets, and they took their starters out a little bit, but we scored 2 baskets and they put them back in. We were still down by like 20 some points. So we just really hate to play that team, but their sportsmanship wasn't too bad on Saturday, and we actually only lost to them by 4. We took it to 3 sets. So in grade school volleyball, they play to 25 in the first 2 sets. It's 2 out of 3. So they won the first set, we won the second one, and then we only lost by 4, which is really amazing because, like I said, our team had 7 players, young ones. They had 17 players. So here's what happened. The first set, they played 1 team of players. The second set, they put a whole new string of players in. But my daughter's team did really, really well. So after they lost that game, they went to the consolation bracket, and they went on to win 2 more games, and it was awesome. So they won the consolation. They didn't get a trophy. That was the one thing my daughter really wanted before she graduates, is to just get a trophy in something. So maybe basketball, maybe soccer. Those are the sports that we have next. And we'll see what happens there. But we were really proud of their team. They did so well. And the best part was in the last game, the last set, they were down 14-13. The last set, they only play to 15 if they go to a third set. And they have to win by 2. So we were down 14-13. My daughter, it was her turn to serve, and she served the last 3 points to win the game. And that's how she ended her grade school volleyball career, which was really cool. So it could not have ended much better than that, and we had a really fun time. But it was a busy weekend. Then we had a fall festival that evening, and it was just a super busy time. So that is why I decided to cancel my card class last week, because we also had 2 games during the week. I had a kickball day field trip with my younger daughter, and it was just crazy. So I'm sorry if you missed me, but I'm back this week. All right, I'm going to flip the camera down. We're going to take a look at the products we're using today and a little sneak peek of this month's Christmas Card Club, which uses the same bundle. So let's flip the camera down and we will take a quick look. Hold on, I guess that button was not working. Here we go. All right, I will have a post that goes up later this afternoon with the photo sneak peek of my Christmas Card Club. If you are on my email list, you've already gotten an email about it. And if you're in my Facebook group, I shared the post for the Christmas Card Club already, but it's coming on my page later. I'll also have a blog post about it, so you can get all the details. But I used the Ornamental Christmas Bundle this month, and I really, really wanted to use these products. This is a balmy blue sheer ribbon, and I'm going to forget the name of these, so I'm going to look. Frosted Iridescent Dots. All right, these are some of my favorite colors. They're especially some of my favorite non-traditional colors to use for Christmas cards, and I knew I wanted to do that one time this season. So these are for my Christmas Card Club. And when you join, you get supplies to make 8 cards. So it's 2 of each of these designs. This one is a little bit of a fun fold with that book fold. I used the beautiful bokeh paper because it went really well with the gems and the ribbon. This one is another easy fun fold. And then this one I think is my favorite. I love the blues and the purples. Okay, so what do you get? The Christmas Card Club is $44 a month. You can join or cancel anytime. So if you just want this month's kit, subscribe, and then you can cancel it right away. The $44 a month includes product that you use to make your cards. So this month, you're going to get half a package of the beautiful bokeh Designer Series paper. You're going to get a full roll of this balmy blue sheer ribbon, and a full package of these iridescent dots, which are absolutely gorgeous. So you'll use some of those products on your cards, and then you'll have some left over to make your own projects as well. You will get card kits, 2 for each of these cards, and then that $44 fee also includes the shipping. So I ship these in padded flat rate mailers from the post office. That way we have tracking and everything is packed nicely and gets to you safely. At least that is the hope, right? And so you supply your own stamps and your own inks. You have the option to add on the Ornamental Christmas Bundle and the ink pads if you would like, or you can shop for them yourself and earn Stampin Rewards. And if you like the cards that we make in today's card class too, you can order this week and get the card kit to get even more cards. So today's card kit, plus if you subscribe to these, you'll get to make 11 total cards using the bundle, which is awesome. So for the Christmas Card Club, you'll get everything sorted into envelopes, and I'm trying to think if there's any die cuts. Okay, so for the bundle I use, which in this case is the Ornamental Christmas Bundle, you will get like a piece of silver foil, and you use your die in your bundle to die cut that star. This circle right here is not part of the Ornamental Christmas Bundle, so that one I do for you. I think that is the only one. The rest of them are dies that are in the bundle. On this card, like this embossed piece here, I will emboss that ahead of time for you. But these pieces are all dies in the Ornamental Christmas Bundle, so you'll get the piece of paper and you get to do the die cutting yourself, if that makes sense. If you have questions, just comment or message me, let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. But I will put a link to subscribe to the Christmas Card Club in the description of the video. And the deadline to get this month's kit is November 15th. So you have a little bit of time. But like I said, if you want it, sign up now. And if you like today's cards, you can also get the card kit. So let's see. I'm going to show you today's cards, I think. I'm going to bring in the 3 cards we're making today. So this is going to be our card class today. Now, if you would like to get a card kit, so you can make these cards too, you just need to shop with me now through Tuesday. And when you spend more than $50 before tax and shipping and after Stampin Rewards, I will send you a card kit to make these 3 cards. So my suggestion, if you like this bundle, is to order the Ornamental Christmas Bundle and anything else you want. This bundle is $51.25, I believe. So it would put you over that $50 mark unless you're using Stampin' Rewards. And then you would get the card kit to make these 3 cards. And then you could subscribe to the Christmas Card Club and make even more cards with your new bundle. So I will have a shopping link in the description of the video also. So you can shop and earn the card kit. All right, so here is the Ornamental Christmas Bundle. It is a stamp set and dies, and it's like the name says. There is an ornament here. You can turn this star into an ornament. You've got the ornament toppers, and then there's some fun trees. These little stars and circles you can use to decorate your ornaments, and then we've got this star also. This stamp right here fits to stamp across this ornament if you want. The star fits on top of the trees. You've got the stamp and the die, and then I love the sentiments in this stamp set. So it is part of a suite collection, and this is an online exclusive product. So if you missed it, that might be why, because it's not in a catalog. The other parts of this suite, we're going to be using some of them today. This is black and white and gold baker's twine. I had to double check. So one is white and gold, the other one is black and gold. It is really, really pretty. The white and gold one I like for fall cards too. And then today, well, I will wait to show you that. The other part of this sweet collection is this beautiful Modern Christmas Specialty Designer Series paper. It is specialty because it has gold foil on one side and lots of pretty patterns. And I love black and white and gold. I think it is so stunning for Christmas. And you can add other colors like you see in our second card we'll make today. I added in some red also. So you can make it more traditional if you want, or you can leave it with the black, white, and gold for more of a modern, non-traditional look. The other part of this suite that I'm not using, there are some gold hoops. They are pretty large. I think they are the size, I don't have them, so I can't tell you for sure, but I think they are probably about this size, maybe just a little bit bigger because maybe this fits inside. But you can use those gold hoops on cards, or you can use them to make ornaments, which is kind of fun. The embellishment we're using today is the traditional sparkling sequins. Now, I believe these are currently out of stock. So if you don't have them, the druzy embellishments would be a good substitute. There's gold and silver in those. You could use anything really sparkly. Rhinestones, you could use the deer dots have some red in them. I'm trying to think what other ones. And I believe these will be back in stock either this week or next week. So, but I love the gold. So that is why I picked them. And I was like, you know what? If you guys don't have them, you'll just substitute something else. So it'll be just fine. All right, let's get started on our first card. This one, I look for ideas, and sometimes I copy exactly, and sometimes I kind of do my own thing. This one's pretty similar to the sample I saw. Demonstrator Melissa Faust posted it, and I think it was part of a like one-day retreat type thing she did with another demonstrator. So I'm not sure if she designed this one or someone else did, but I thought it was really cute. So we're going to make it today. My version, I have a few little changes from hers, but it's pretty similar. So if you've seen it floating around, that's why. All right, this one has a basic black card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and we'll fold that in half. And then we have a piece of that beautiful modern Christmas paper, and you can see the gold foil in those stripes. This piece is 5 1/4 by 4. So we're just going to add that to our card base. And see if I can get it put on evenly today. Sometimes it's hard to look at it at an angle instead of, you know, right on top of it when you're standing up and crafting, which is what I do a lot of the time. All right, then, that's funny. I use the same measurements on my first and last card just about. Didn't even realize it. This piece of the designer series paper is 3 by 4 1/4. And then we're going to mat that onto a black piece that is 3 1/8 by 4 3/8. And this is the part that is measuring the same as my third card, which is so funny. I didn't know I did that. Okay, I'm going to add this piece with some dimensionals. Should have brought my water in here. I'm getting a tickle in my throat because I am talking too much. So what happens when you're home by yourself all day, you do no talking, and then you do a bunch all at once. It does not work out so well. Okay, there's that. Then we have a piece of white here for our sentiment that is 1 1/8 by 2 7/8. And then we're going to put that on a piece of black that is 1 1/4 by 3. So we're going to stamp our sentiment in black ink. I'm using the 'Tis the Season. And I'm going to stamp off to the right side. The good news about this is if you don't like how it stamps, you can flip the paper over, but I think mine turned out pretty well. So we will go with that. All right, I'm going to add that to my black piece, and then we will layer it onto our card. And you're going to have a little black edge around every side of the white here. And we'll just put that onto our card. So it kind of lines up so that you see the black edge. That black edge lines up with the edge of your designer series paper there. Okay, then I've cut 3 ornaments out of the designer series paper. Isn't that pretty? Super shiny and foily. So if you get the card kit this week, you're going to get exactly what I dumped out of my envelope here. That's how I sort them for you. You may get different ornaments. So I have 3 different ones here than I had on my first card. But really any of them are going to look nice on your card. And there is a fun variety in this pattern of the designer series paper. So I'm just going to fussy cut these, and they're not too difficult to fussy cut. And then we'll see how we want to arrange them on our card. So you can kind of see where the Ornamental Christmas Bundle gets its name from, because there actually are a lot of ornaments in the stamps and the dies and the paper of this set. And when I first looked at it, I actually looked more at the trees than the ornaments, but I really like all of the options this bundle has. Let me know in the comments if you have this bundle already or if it's on your wish list. I do draw random winners from the comments every week to win the cards that I make in the video. So I'm making 3 cards, so 3 random commenters this week will get my cards. I am a little bit behind on sending them. The sports season just, it was a little overwhelming to get everything done. So my son was in flag football. That ended a week earlier than volleyball. And then we have kind of a week off, but my 3 oldest kids are going to play soccer. Their school has a co-ed team, and soccer games start on Monday. Today's their first practice after school. They practice some at recess also. But yeah, we don't have very much of a break in between. And then soccer goes almost up to Christmas, which is going to be a little crazy also. The sports seasons used to start a month earlier. They pushed it back a month because it is so hot here in September. They were like, why are we doing sports when it's so hot? Let's push it back a month. So it's nice in some ways, but not nice in the fact that now we are going to have sports into December. Okay, so here are my 3 ornaments. Let's see here how I want to arrange these. I think something like that. And these I'm going to add with dimensionals. You probably just need 1 dimensional for each ornament. And depending on which ornaments you get in your card kit, you know, if they're skinnier or fatter, you can decide if you want to overlap them at all. I think the ones I used on the first card were just a little fatter and they overlapped, but I don't think these are going to. I do want this one to kind of go down into my sentiment a little bit, like that. And then we're going to use our white and gold baker's twine and do a little bow on top of each one, kind of like the ornament holder. So this is a little bit, I would say, slipperier than our regular baker's twine. And you know what? We're going to make these kind of small because we're doing 3 of them. So they don't need to have long tails hanging off all over the card. So put 1 there. Tie our second one. See, a little bit slipperier. It's slipping right out of my fingers. It's always harder to tie a bow on live video also. I don't know if any of you watching do live videos, but for some reason, your fingers just have more trouble doing things on camera. All right, there's that one. And then our last one. Okay, we'll trim this one. Add this one right here. Okay, so there we've got our ornaments, and now let's just add a few of our gold sequins here. Put a big one over there, and sprinkle a few over here. Put that one up there. Okay. So there is our first card. I hope you like it. I thought this one was really, really cute. Okay, I'm going to tuck that in an envelope to send to a random person who comments. And now we will go on to card number 2. Now, part of the reason I added red was because I wanted to use a different color than gold of the sequins. I didn't want to just use up all my gold sequins, and I really liked the combination of the black, white, and red too. So I actually didn't use any designer series paper on this one that had the gold foiling, but that's okay. Gold, red, and white and black is still a pretty combination too. All right, this one I have a thick basic white card base, 5.5 by 8.5. And then I have another piece of white that's 5.25 by 4. And this one I embossed. This is called the Glass and Gardens embossing folders. It's a set of 2 of our more narrow ones that fit through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I thought it was really pretty, kind of modern looking with the modern Christmas suite. And I believe these embossing folders are out of stock right now too. But you don't have to worry about that because you're going to get this embossed piece in your card kit. And then when it comes back in stock, you can add it to your shopping cart. All right. That piece there. Then we have a piece of the Modern Christmas paper that is 1.5 by 5.25. I had to look at my measurements. I remembered to bring them in here today. You guys know, sometimes I forget. All right, so I'm going to line that up with the edge of this embossed white piece at the bottom here. And then I just have a piece of real red that is 1/4 inch by 5.25, and that one is too skinny to put our Stampin' Seal on. So I'm just going to add a little line of glue right here above my Designer Series paper, and then we'll put that real red piece there. It's just like a little red accent, and then we'll use the red sequins and a little bit of red ink, and it'll be just the right combination. Doesn't that just pop? I love it. Okay, then we have a couple die cuts here. These I've cut with our branching out dies. They have all different sizes of this shape, which I really love. So I've cut one in Basic Black and then one in Basic White, and we're going to stamp our Merry Christmas in real red ink. Now again, I'm going to stamp off to the right side because I'm going to add the tree over on the left side. So we'll kind of center that top and bottom, but it's on the right side of our label here. All right, then I'm going to add this to the black label. The nice thing about these with the different sizes is you can layer them like this and have that nice border. All right, and then we'll add this piece to our card with some dimensionals. Yep, I didn't know how many of you would find me live today because not only is it the wrong day, for most of the country it was daylight savings time over the weekend, but Arizona does not change, and so we used to line up with Pacific time, but now we line up with Mountain time again, so you know, that's just a little bit confusing. Different day and different time zone. So you will have to watch the replay later and let me know that you are here. All right, we're going to stamp this tree in black ink, and I have a little piece of white cardstock here to do that on. Make sure we got that inked up real good. And it should fit right there on that white piece. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to pull in my little die cutting machine, and we are going to die cut this guy. Now, this die is very basic. You could probably fussy cut this tree pretty easily if you don't have the dies, but why not get the dies? Because they are lots of fun, and when you buy a bundle, you save 10%. So, you know what? It's not very often I just buy the stamp set or just buy the dies because I think to myself, I'm saving 10%. No one reminds me that I had to spend more to save 10%. That's how women shop though, isn't it? You gotta spend some to save some. Makes sense to me. Okay. We've got our nice tree there. Move the die cutting machine out of the way. And I will put that die back in place. Actually, I think I'm done with the dies, so I'm going to close them all the way up so nothing falls out and we don't lose anything. Okay, let's add our tree here with a few more dimensionals. If you do not want this card to have so many dimensional layers, you could add this label flat, or you could add the tree flat too, but I would add the labels flat before I add the tree flat. I like that tree popped up a little bit. All right, then we got to add a few little decorations to our tree here. So I'm going to use the sparkly red ones this time and just add a few to the tree. These sequins are probably my favorite embellishment in our September to December mini catalog this year. I love them. All right, and then this time we're going to use the black and gold baker's twine and tie a little bow for the top of our tree. And we'll add that one with a mini glue dot also. All right, there is our second card. So I'm going to tuck that one away for another lucky winner also. And now we will go on to our third card where I unknowingly had some of the same measurements as the first card. But you know what? If you find a good layout, you got to stick with it, right? It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty similar. Okay. This one I have a thick basic white card base again. If you are getting the Modern Christmas Suite with this designer series paper, I highly recommend some white cardstock and some black, because that, and some gold foil. Those are going to match your designer series paper. All right, this is a fun pattern right here, the Fa La 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 La. And I've cut this to be the same size as my card front. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And that is just such a fun piece right there. All right, then just like the first card, I have a piece of designer series paper. I love this pattern. I don't know how much you can see the gold in there, but there is gold on this side. It's 3 by 4 1/4, and then we've got the black mat again that is 3 1/8 by 4 3/8. Just the same as our first card, and I have to tell you, I have been using that measurement layout a lot, so must be a good one. All right, we're going to pop this layer up with dimensionals, and just like on the last card, if you want less layers with dimensionals, you can put this layer down flat. It just depends. I feel like if it's not a ton of small things that you're popping up with dimensionals all over the place, and it's just more paper on top of paper dimensionals, I feel like it flattens out a little better in the envelope, but totally up to you. And always use the edges of your dimensionals. That's what I was doing. I just like to go around and cut the whole edge, and then I use them up. All right, so there's that. I have a gold foil star that I've cut with the Ornamental Christmas dies. And then this little circle is cut from the Stylish Shapes dies, and the Be Jolly fits right in there. So we are going to stamp that in black ink. This is the second smallest circle in the Stylish Shapes dies, if you are wondering, and it is perfect for this sentiment. All right, now, I'm not sure if Stampin' Up! Did this on purpose. I should have saved a regular dimensional for this, but a regular dimensional, not the edges, fits perfectly right in the center of this star, and they may or may not have done that on purpose. I think they did do it on purpose. Let's see. Yep, I want that to be the top and the bottom. So you can stick a dimensional there, and that little circle fits on there. And then same thing, you can put, the regular one fits perfectly. This one is a little bit out of the edges because it's the edge of the dimensionals. Oh, I forgot one thing, but that's all right. We'll make it work. Okay. For this, I'm going to make this like an ornament with the thread hanging around the top. So I just need a small piece. And you should do this before you attach your other piece, but it doesn't really matter too much. Because this is how I did the first one too. I thought, oh, I want to do that, and then I added it after. So I'm just putting a glue dot on there, and we're going to add that to the back of our star. And then we need one more glue dot. Just kind of somewhere, where did it go? There we go. Somewhere here where it's going to tuck behind this layer. Now I'm going to pull it up a little because I forgot to do this before. But you can just pull that behind and stick that glue dot wherever you had it. All right, so now we've got that string going around like it's hanging there. And then we'll tie the bow because that is going to finish off our little ornament hanger there. You could do the same thing with the other ornament in the set, which we didn't use today, but same type of thing. I'm going to make those a little shorter. That probably was not even at all. We'll see how it looks once we get it on there. Got little pieces of twine flying everywhere. Oh, and whoever's getting this card's getting the whole roll, I guess. All right, so I'm going to put this at the top where you see now the glue dot's sticking in my finger. Jeez. Okay. Actually, that's not too bad. I think that's okay. And then I decided that I was going to use the gold again. But if you are using a different embellishment and you want to use a different color, The nice thing about black, white, and gold is that pretty much any color will match. So you can add any pop of color that you would like or any gold embellishment. All right, so there is our third card. Let's tuck that one away for a third lucky winner. And now I will bring all three back in for you to see. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite this week. For me, it's kind of a tie between the first two. I don't know which one. I do like the third one, but my favorite is one of these two. So let me know in the comments which one you liked the best. And don't forget that you can get the card kit to make these 3 cards by shopping with me now through Tuesday when you spend more than $50. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you again next week. Bye.